Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs, and investors. Today we have the Shikha Oberoi and Divyansh Bajpai, two individuals that are bringing Indie.com to India. Indie is a global video platform where individuals and brands create and monetize original content to engage their fans and customers in a positive and safe environment, all while integrating deeply into social media. Indie was founded in the US by e-commerce veterans who have before that sold a few companies. Welcome, guys.
Hi there.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, brief intro of both the founders. So, Shikha is a former top 100 WTA tennis player and the Indian Icon 2015. Has created, hosted, and produced the world's first impact investing reality TV show, The Real Deal. It's launched our own media company, Impact Media 360, and it's also currently producing a few social television shows and done education at Princeton in the US. Divyansh is an innovative leader with 15 plus years of progressive management and marketing expertise in startups, high-tech, travel finance, and the banking industry. He did his education at University of Oregon, and before this was with Nova Travel Canada. Again, welcome guys. Welcome to the show. Do let me know if you have any gaps in the intro and let us know what's going on in your world today.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I think that largely covers it.
Yeah, that was the introduction. Well done.
All right, guys. Before I get into the product, both of you, any passions outside of business?
Yeah, lots of passions outside of business. I think social change, dancing, poetry, watching television and movies. I think I'm a big foodie as well. That's a big passion of mine.
Okay.
And of course, sports, all kinds of sports and fitness.
All right. And Divyansh?
Yeah, I think similarly. I think I'm kind of a strange sort of. I guess I'm a technophile. I guess you could say I'm a nerd in some senses, but I'm also I've been an athlete in the past, and I've tried to mix both of those roles whenever possible. And another point, I don't know. I guess it might be relevant in that Shikha and I are also engaged to be married. So
great.
In case we're answering questions and it sounds like we're a little too familiar, that would be the reason.
So now I know why. Okay. So, the inevitable question, Indie.com, I think, launched in April in India. So just tell our listeners what Indie.com is about.
Sure, yeah. Basically, what we've done is we've tried to address a gap in digital video that exists today. So, YouTube is a very good platform for video content consumption. I think Facebook is, they're obviously getting into the video play very heavily, but I think, at its core, Facebook is a social media platform for people to interact with each other. Now they're sort of shoehorning this video aspect on top of it, and
Correct.
Who knows how things are going to go in the future? In the next 2-3 years, I think, Mark Zuckerberg was saying that the majority of content on Facebook would be video, but still, what we're trying to do is sort of fill a niche there where brands currently need to, have some kind of video content platform that allows them more engagement. Now, Facebook obviously is doing some blocking of users. So, if I'm Pepsi or Coca-Cola or any other brand and I have X number of users on a Facebook page, to access all those people and actually have things that I put onto my Facebook page show up in their feed, I have to give Facebook money. And so on the face of it, that's sort of it's a difficult commercial proposition.
Yep.
You're paying a lot of money, and what kind of engagement you get out of that, is questionable at best, because as it is, if something scrolls through my feed and I like it, I might just be a person that likes everything. I might just be a person that happened to accidentally click the button. What value you're getting out of that is questionable. So what we've done is we've created a platform where we're asking brands to run challenges on our platform. Okay. So essentially we're incentivizing their users to get onto our platform, submit a video, and then send that video out to their user base, their feed, their sort of organic network, and say, hey, friends, family, look at this video I put on the indie.com/whatever brand name channel. I really want to win this because they might give me a career opportunity. I might win cash. I might win a million different things. Really, it's up to the brand to decide how much and what they want to gratify their users with. But the point is that, because there's a gratification element, the messaging that you're going to get, the UGC that you're going to get, is going to be positive about your brand, and we're giving the brand organic reach that's otherwise difficult and expensive to attain. So that's our value proposition.
Okay. And what's the vision for the company?
It's I would say, as is the case with many other startups, we intend for this to be sort of a paradigm shifting company. We think we could be very, very big and lucrative. I think our intention is to make it $1 billion enterprise, and how we go about doing that, I think, is going to be how we go about doing it and how long it takes. I think is going to be all the details that we'll be able to tell stories about later. But right now, we're just working on that. Yeah.
So initially, to take this project off the ground and make it a reality, who was it? Was it Neil, right? I mean, so you all met him in the US, so what is it like?
That's right. Neil is the global CEO of Indie, and there are 4 co-founders or 3 co-founders along with that had previous work experience, as I think Divyansh maybe gently mentioned, or you might have mentioned in the introduction. And we were connected to Neil through Neha, and of course the game of tennis. Neil is a tennis player as well, and my sister had met him, I think, at a tennis-related event, and mentioned that he's looking to expand into India. And Neha said, you've got to connect with Shikha and her fiance, Divyansh, because they're the perfect duo to take that forward. And essentially that's what happened. That's how we met Neil in 2014. And since then, we've been developing and laying the groundwork to launch Indie, which we did on the 28th of April.
Okay. And how has it been till now? How's the traction in this 1 or 2 months?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, basically, I from all the indicators that I would have looked at and said, okay, this is good or bad for us, they're all trending good, and that's better than I think our expectations were. I mean, again, considering the fact that this is an international platform coming to India, there's sort of unique aspects about this market that are different to anywhere else in the world. Which is the case anywhere else too. But we expected it to be difficult. I think the good thing that we found is that our value proposition works in the sense that people are coming to the platform. We're getting a disproportionate number of sort of organic reach versus the number of people coming and submitting videos on the platform. So for every one person that comes and submits a video, we get at least like 5 to 10 incoming views from their friends and their other extended network, essentially. So
that's damn good.
Yeah, so it's been really good. I think all the indicators have been positive. Again, I think numbers are one thing that we don't really try to focus on, because I think for us the engagement metrics are more important than just user base, and we're not trying to be a company that's just solely focusing on user base. But that being said, we've seen a very sort of a better response than we were expecting this quickly in the game, barely 2 months into our launch here in India.
Okay. So all the India-centric videos, is it on the .com site only, or is it on a subdomain for India? Or
Yeah, I mean, basically what we've done is we're geolocating based on IP address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if we see an Indian IP address, we serve up an Indian-specific sort of user experience.
Got it. So how does the product work? I mean, you have these challenges, you have talent, you have channels. I saw 3 specific tabs as such. But so how does the entire product work?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, basically, you think of this in the same way that you would think of a company having a presence on YouTube or Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook, you're going to have a page. On YouTube, you'll have a channel. So it's a little bit more similar to YouTube in that sense that we expect a channel owner, which would be a brand of some kind, would own a channel, and then within that channel, they'll run different challenges. In that way, then they keep all of their content, any content related to their brand and their specific initiatives, contained within a sort of a very set space that's understandable and not too disparate. I think this is one of the things that we're looking at as a big differentiator between us and YouTube, for example. On YouTube, if you have a channel and you have a video on any given page, you're only going to monetize one video on any page. And I think that's a key differentiator, where we're saying that a challenge page can hold a call to action video, and then all of the video that comes in from users lives on that same page. Now it'll get sorted based on our algorithm, which sort of tracks virality as the biggest metric. But the idea is that a brand could then run a challenge, have a channel, run challenges within that, have a multitude of videos come in on that one challenge page, and they can eventually monetize every single video that comes in by either serving ads on it, or they can run sponsored challenges, that kind of a thing. So, basically we try to keep it relatively simple in the sense that there's really only those 2 or 3 different sort of aspects to the user experience. There's a homepage, and then there's going to be a channel, and then there's going to be challenges beneath that.
Okay. Yeah. And what's the current revenue model like?
Yeah, I mean, right now our revenue model is that we don't have one. I mean, we're basically we're just spending money at the moment, but it's okay because the intention is to get enough users on board that we'll be able to do different things with them once they're there. So eventually we would be serving ads on the videos that are playing.
Okay.
Then we're going to do a lot of different sort of value add things where we'll be serving up. We'll be giving a base set of analytics to all brands that run channels and challenges. But we'll be able to sort of give them an enhanced set of data analytics with sort of advanced benchmarking and things of that nature for a cost. We'll be able to do sponsorships. I think are going to play a big role in this. So if a brand is running a challenge, they can bring on different sponsors to get branding throughout the pages and also possibly watermarks, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Of all those things, we would be taking small cuts of, and there's going to be freemium profiles, all those things basically that would come with having a base of users coming to our platform, utilizing it, and then the different things that we can do with them to sort of maximize the data that we can serve to the channel owners.
Okay. And then just to add one more layer to that, our execs do come from an e-commerce background, and another fabulous way to monetize is the affiliate marketing, retail, and whatnot, all merchandising, all different ways that you can sell product on India as well.
Okay. So, how has the challenge been? You're competing with, of course, Facebook, the many social media platforms that are there, and of course, there's OTT now. So, how has it been in these 2 months that you've started operating?
Yeah, it's been, I think one of the things that we're finding is that the biggest challenge has been helping people understand what it is exactly that we do.
Correct.
We're not an MCN. We're not a pure OTT player. We're not trying to just act as another platform for content consumption or hosting content to be served. We really are doing things very differently. I think the key thing that we're trying to provide is user engagement. So, a user is going to make a video for you. That in and of itself is a much sort of, I think it's a more accurate indicator of engagement than somebody just clicking a button to like it or, hearting something, what have you. And obviously that sort of organic reach element, which is unique also. I mean, we're telling people you're going to be rewarded for submitting a video and then making sure as many of your friends and followers like it, watch it, and share it. So that's something unique. So like I said, I think it's done really well for us. I mean, basically, I think brands are going to be a little bit conservative in the sense that they want to make sure that anything they're going to take part in is not going to come back and bite them at some point.
Yeah, true.
But that being said, we've had some great partners already. We've worked with Artists Aloud for World Music Day. Artists Aloud is a unit of Hungama.
Yep.
IBM, we've worked with Anil Kapoor because he's an equity stakeholder in the company. He's done some really sort of neat things with us.
Anita Dongre.
Yeah. So
we've got a good lineup of brands. Universal Music is EMI as well. Working with Mohit Suri to find the next best, singer for EMI to sign. Okay. And then, of course, it all opens up into nonprofits, leagues, television shows, sourcing contestants, what have you, and then consumer-facing brands as well that just simply want to market page for their audiences. We've got all that and more on Indie and more coming up.
Okay. Who do you work with in Artists Aloud? Who was the...
we're working with so many.
I know really well. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll speak to her tomorrow and find out.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's really great.
Okay. I'll talk to her tomorrow.
With her and her team, team, they were really fantastic. We did this, we title sponsored World Music Day with them this year. And it worked out better than any of us could have imagined, I thought. And especially because we did it all in such a short time scale. It was great to work with them because, especially in that kind of a scenario, things can go wrong. But they had a really good professional team and we enjoyed working with them. And I think we're going to do some more things with them in the future.
So moving on to funding. So, of course, we have Anil Kapoor who's taking equity, which helped to get a lot of PR. So is it a monetary funding or is it just purely for a PR kind of media kind of thing?
No, I think we don't really generally get into specifics about who's funded all that. But basically, I can tell you that he has taken a substantial stake in this company. He's invested in it, and he's really done quite a bit to help us. And I think it's really one of those things where the value can't be overestimated, right? Having this association, it opens doors for us. And he's been actively involved in it also in the sense that he's He shot a commercial for us, a TVC that we've done mostly on digital so far, but we
Okay.
might that basically onto television at some point in the near future. And then his daughters, Ria has been very helpful. He's worked with us with a lot of the different things that happen with media and entertainment. Sonam would most likely be doing some stuff with us in the near future. So he's got a very substantial stake in this, and he's invested in the outcome.
Okay. And what's the team size currently?
Right now in India, it's just basically Shikha and I and Mr. Kapoor and some of his staff. We have a lot of support from international. So we have people in the U.S., I believe in Canada, possibly in the U.K.
Correct.
Some now in Africa. So it's a relatively small team, but I think we're made up of people that we try to do get a lot of work done with the smallest number of people possible. I think that comes from Neil's leadership on downwards.
Okay. And so a lot of interest coming in from the businesses or brands. I mean, at least in the 2 months you have started approaching them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when you see, speaking in your world, about startups and whatnot, I think IBM's challenge was a fantastic one to showcase the ability for brands such as IBM to source the next best startups, to help them, nurture them, invest in them and whatnot. I think our next step is to really attract some of the real consumer-facing brands, let's suppose hardcore as like biscuits and beverages and whatnot. And I think that could get really exciting for us. So we are having very, very promising conversations with them and looking forward to launching those in a very big way. So we've got the whole gamut, from technology to social change to biscuits to, a fizzy drink. I think all of it is right around the corner for us.
And I just want to add to that too.
Yep.
So we've, I think the hardest part for us has probably already been done, and that was to get these, the launch partners on board. And now that we've gotten that done, I think it's we have case studies that we can point to. So one, for example, is alongside the World Music Day, initiative, we did a challenge with Bisleri because they were one of the other sponsors for World Music Day. And we just did a simple tongue twister challenge for Bisleri Pop. You repeat a phrase 5 times, and the winner got some cases of Bisleri Pop and won a small cash prize. And the numbers that we got from that really sort of validated what our ideas were about what we can offer to just a really pure consumer facing brand like that, where they got people saying fun stuff about Bisleri Pop, and they shared it out throughout their network of friends and family. And again, that organic reach that we received with that was definitely probably a little bit higher than we were expecting. And so Bisleri was very happy about it. We were very
great.
happy.
Okay.
So, yeah, it bodes well, I think, for the future.
All right. So moving out of business, I think I'll go with Shikha first. So who influenced you most in life?
I'm sorry, say again?
Who influenced you most in life?
I'd say my father. I think he's an entrepreneur himself.
Okay.
And, that really inculcated in all 5 of his daughters, that's 4 of my sisters, the entrepreneurial lifestyle, I would say, being resourceful, being gritty, getting something done and like loving the whole process of it, producing excellence every day, be it a product or just living out your dream or going to live your best self. I think he's really led by example. Someone who's he's an IITian, went to the U.S. as an immigrant and did very, very well for himself.
Okay,
and
great.
Bounced around in a lot of careers in the sense of the same in the enterprise sector, but evolved himself, which is great for me to see. And I think it's reflective of how I've been living my life, evolving into different career paths as well.
Okay, and what's some of the best advice you've been given?
Some of the best advice I can give?
You've been given.
Oh, that I've been given. Okay, that's a little better because let me achieve a little bit more and then I think I inherit the right to give advice, but to take advice. I think the biggest advice that I need to hear and keep hearing, I think, is patience and understanding that it is sometimes a battle of attrition. Understanding that it is a marathon, but at times there are sprints in that marathon. So I think taking a perspective of patience and understanding when to sprint and when to walk. Something that I'm learning to do, and it was advice that I really appreciate.
All right. And when did you know you were meant for entrepreneurship?
When I was 8 years old, I loved the idea of those lemonade stands. I love the idea of innovating and engineering stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I was geared to be playing tennis at that time. And I think when I realized that I'm a creative person, I would say it was towards the end of my tennis career, around 2010, when I was starting to be very innovative and inventive and believing that I could apply these innovations and these ideas and take them into reality, and they don't have to just be in my head. And when it was validated and truly confirmed was at Princeton, when I went back to finish my undergraduate degree, and I started to believe that I could and I would be producing and creating these television shows and setting up my own company. And so I would say it really was very confirming for me in 2010 when I went back to college. That was a very big year for me and a shift in my style of thinking.
Okay. So Divyansh, who influenced you most in life?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar. I'm sure this question probably gets a relatively simple answer.
It's a mix. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely my parents as well.
Okay.
And for I mean, probably many of the same reasons, but also in a unique way for me. Both my parents have been entrepreneurs. My father was involved with in the high tech industry in the U.S. I grew up, listening to names such as McDonnell Douglas, Hughes Aerospace, Boeing, this kind of thing. Those were the clients that he was selling. Basically, he made machines that were very high tolerance machines that made circuit boards and did epoxy, that kind of a thing. So, I'm assuming they probably had like defense and military applications, and this is why he was visiting those kinds of companies. And he built these. At the time in the 80s, $500,000 machines in our garage, and I grew up watching that, and he was building these things from his hands with his partner Carl Brown. There's an entrepreneurial spirit, I think, in our family. My mother then, when my father ended up selling that company, was very sort of fast-paced, and his competition were companies like Hitachi and Panasonic and these other really big companies. And eventually it led to him having health problems because he worked at least 80 to 100 hours a week as I was growing up, and sleep at the office quite a bit, and that led to health problems. So he sold that company. But before he did, my mother actually ended up starting to... She initially started just by arranging the travel for the company employees.
Okay.
Yeah, and that sort of evolved into people sort of talked and referred her and this and that, and next thing you know, she'd built a fairly significant sized business of her own. My father then sold the automation business and joined her in that, and then they sort of took off on that different path. And when I grew up to a working age, I would say I initially started working at that company, and I sort of helped to, my background was in technology, so I helped to sort of automate the processes quite a bit, take it online. This was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Definitely my parents are the biggest influence. And even, along the way when I've gone astray in different places, thankfully my parents have been there to fix me up and set me on the right path. I've certainly given them a few nightmares, I think.
And what's some of the best advice you've been given?
I think, it's a tough question because there's probably, I could fill a whole book full of advice that I've been given that, probably should be taken, and sometimes I take it and sometimes I don't. But
Rajiv, if I can just interrupt there for a second, as his fiance, I can tell you, I don't think he takes advice very much.
Okay. That's
probably the best piece of advice that I've taken, that I should occasionally take some advice,
All right. So what, in terms of business, any new feature or launch coming up like at present that's getting you all excited?
Yeah, I think, like I said, because of the fact that we've had some success now, and this is just going to make things easier going forward to open more doors. And, as we grow, we're going to be looking at bringing on different partners and doing things that are a little bit more complex than simply having a channel owner run a channel. So that's going to involve the monetization aspect, obviously. We have some discussions going along in terms of, channel partners that would be wanting to monetize their channel and different ways that they could do so. So that's very exciting. And I think just the fact that we're going to be growing quickly and having success, I think is going to be an exciting time. And I think there's the thing that I think both of us are very sort of thankful for is that, having Neil and Greg and the executive team in the US, they've gone through this before. They skipped Shikha.com and, ended up selling it for $250 million to Rakuten. They ran Rakuten's North American business. So So there's going to be times I'm a lot less scared about it or worried about things as I would be, because I feel like they've got a good handle on how things are going to go and what to watch out for and what we need to do to make sure we're successful. So it's really all upside. I think it's going to be an exciting time.
Okay. And you're looking to grow also. So if someone wants to join Indie.com, what are you looking for? The characteristics you're looking for?
Yeah, I think, and especially, I think it's true from the top down that we really want people that are sort of, I don't even know how to say it. I guess the best way to say it would be just very dynamic people.
Okay.
We expect a high level of excellence out of people and to understand what's going on in a sort of broad perspective and know, this is the broader outreach or the outlook and what we're all trying to achieve. And then the little details that need to be filled in to make that happen. So it takes unique kind of people to understand that and be able to do a lot of different things with excellence and I would say that's probably it.
Okay. And so where do you see yourselves and your business, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 years?
2 to 3 years, I'm certain we're going to be very successful in India. I expect that in that much time we will have expanded to other international markets. That's already starting now as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think in another 2 to 3 years, a lot more people are going to know about Indie, and hopefully by that point, we won't be having to do as much of a sales effort to sort of educate potential channel owners about what we can do, and more so it will be about managing the ones that are on the platform and making sure they have the best experience possible.
Okay. So now we come to the part of the show which is a quick fire round. So who's going to do this one?
Shikha will go for it. Shikha, go. I've been thinking too much as a
Okay, ready.
Okay. So when people ask you, what do you do? How do you answer that?
I say I'm a co-founder of Indie.com India, and I call myself an impact entrepreneur because I like to every medium, be it technology, fitness, health, and television shows to create social change.
All right. When you think of the word successful, who is the first person that comes to mind?
I'd say my father. Okay. Again, sorry, that was very slow. That wasn't rapid.
What do you excel at that people might not realize?
I'm sorry, say again?
What do you excel at that people might not realize?
I think I'm a go-getter. I think I love out and about and really hustling and finding new leads and people. And I think I don't think people really know that because I think they remember my tennis when they meet me first. Okay. But yeah, I think they don't realize how much I just love being out there and meeting new people and thinking about ways for us to connect, especially on Indie.
Okay. And what is something that you believe in that other people think is insane?
I believe in so much productivity, like constant achievement, constant excellence in producing all the time. I think it's normal for me to miss family birthdays and like understand that, I can't always be there for my own birthdays and whatnot. I think that's like, it's normal for me, it's absolutely normal for me. So for me to put work first is oftentimes insane to other people, I know, but it's what makes me happy.
Okay. And your favorite city?
Oh no, this is really hard.
You can say anything globally. It's okay.
Oh man, favorite city.
It's supposed to be rapid fire. You're doing a very slow rapid fire.
Whatever city Divyansh is in is favorite.
Oh my God! Okay.
Good thing I gave that disclaimer earlier. Otherwise,
I think it's time to end the quick fire round, man. All right. So
like slowest fire in the world.
Finally, guys, any last thought or piece of advice that you may have missed you want to give our listeners?
I would just say that I've seen throughout my career so far that it does take patience, and you have to sort of be willing to do things you don't always want to do, and just keep really sort of believing that things are going to work out well in the future. And if you work towards it, it'll happen.
Little bit of a wish I have is more women leaders, more women entrepreneurs, whatever sector, tech, anything. Doesn't matter. I think more women need to get out here and be on your show and join me. And I think we need to work together to get to the top.
All right. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also Indie.
Yeah. You can reach me on info@indie.com.
Okay.
And we're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And find us on indie.com.
Okay. Again, Shikha and Divyansh, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures, and all the very best at building and scaling indie.com.
Thank you
so
very much. Thanks for having us.
All right. Do visit indie.com and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes, and also subscribe to our show on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and all the available platforms. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.